This court finds the defendant. Well, that's the end of this case, guys. And that's the end of the trilogy. Kind of a underwhelming way to end. But, thank you all so much for this journey.
Objection!
Oh. Oh, no. Hello, everyone. My name's Ozzy Hornet. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We are going to be continuing with Bridge to the Turnabout. And yeah, let's begin. Oh no, Mr. Larice feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. There's no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just really accustomed to that sort of thing. Or not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Just a bikini. He claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Denham, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If you're sure, identity is revealed. Don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth. I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Alright, prosecutor. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. The acting prosecutor's chair can only mean. It seems this case has already over before it had a chance to begin. Oh, well. Case over. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Well, that's the end of this case, guys. And that's the end of the trilogy. Kind of a underwhelming way to end. But, thank you all so much for this journey.
Objection!
Oh. Oh, no. The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. On a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did? You must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before, or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those at the prosecutor's office. Wow, harsh. There isn't? But I'm sure once before in this courtroom— Oh! I told you there's no such weakling. What is that? What? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip.
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip. What? Edgeworth, why? She is whipping people in this court. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. Oh boy. This promises to be very interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for this whole time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. Bring it on. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh! The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline to this case, with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Mr. Lee Stenham. The body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. He had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Okay. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to a crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Here we go. Oh. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Oh, hold on there. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for a back pain plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Yep, there we go. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me, well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini? Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing one right now. Oh! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist, let me tell you. I am the sight to behold in summer. Any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let's hear what you had to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's where I saw it! So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple? Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, we get to play as Edgeworth now. Woo! Let's go.
Objection!
There we go. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claimed that after ringing the lights-out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that.
Objection!
A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
Objection!
Well, that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Oh! All people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means, you must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play the game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, you are going to question the memory of this witness. You'll need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. That's not true!
Objection!
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course! It's a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there! Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Irish she saw should have been missing this very hood. Not feeling at all. Making contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Rod's face every time he does it. Oh, what in the book? What is it? Ugh! Sister, this hood? You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each man is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owns. Then this is quite strange. Oh! There was a surplus of hoods, then she could have won one of those. There's no contradiction here. Sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. Seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. I just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and I was just, oh, Mr. Gillis! That sort of all things. Mr. Gillis was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours?
Objection!
There we go. Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order! The victim was killed and then fell? If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her room. And she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below.
Objection!
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Denham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Oh! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. Oh my god! However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that— Whoa! I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I am sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, but the weapon's still in place. It acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have to come to the conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Hold on. I must admit that this is a probable version of events. Expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip. Oh boy. Alright. Looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see a stab Mr. Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mr. Garvey was stabbing Mr. Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strives for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Maya Zedgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska von Karma. I'm here to teach you just that. Never seen so much blood before.
Hold it!
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right! Some of it had splattered onto Iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-speckled clothing was nearly folded in the corner. But what? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? It seems quite conclusive to me. Should I press this point further? Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed. I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out? It wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. I feel like this might be it.
Objection!
Yep, there we go. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. Well, what do you mean? You make it sound like as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Now. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust upon its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain your— Oh! Explain yourself! To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection!
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weak, should I so choose. Your objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, Well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. That's... We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when a weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too light for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichisato. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
That's not possible, but... I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If the sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Yeah. Oh. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Hold on. Rather mild set, Dwarf. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that. What does all this mean? You're proving contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but... Having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichisato. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was this made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well... It's because Mr. Gami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichisato was the murder weapon. Hold on. Oh! So maybe the Shichisato was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. He saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. You're responsible, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I'd like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's not the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Oh? Not a mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, can I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what?! Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible! What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Now you know how it feels to be a defense attorney, Edgeworth. I saw the matter at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it would be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please, tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape, but with my back and my age, you know. Great. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. Oh boy. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky-little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter. making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did you really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Objection!
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, then returned? If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. You're right! You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped. Leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? That's a theory. This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain? My dad has a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction. No need, the evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Miss Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
Take that!
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that this weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 PM, but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 PM, the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Ah! It's too soon to be closing this chart due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? Oh, no. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Yeah! Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracy. It may still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 PM. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It stopped snowing at the Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. We need to provide conclusive evidence of this. Come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. You'll get back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
Take that!
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Denham. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, the the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon. And in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Yeah. Let's go, Edgeworth. Order. Just what are you suggesting, Mars Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself. This is simply what all of the facts points to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. When the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Because it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. It can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. Snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible! Order in the court. What does all this mean? Then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I have nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. Tell them not to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. I think I know who you're talking about, Edgeworth. Your Honor. Actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about?
Take that!
This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim Elise Denham. Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? And that's... I could tell him all about his designs for Iris. It might cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. I'm gonna serve as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Okay. Well anyways guys, that's it for today's video. Sorry it was a short one, but I'll be continuing this very soon. But in the meantime, if you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes out. Until then, take care and goodbye.